Alright, back with another video. Just looking at my notes to make sure I'm going to do the right topic. So, the topic that I'm chosen for this video that I've written down and I'll say it word for word is you only live once. It's a saying, but it's the truth. And no matter how embarrassed you are at something, it won't matter when you are gone. So, everybody's heard this before, and there's a saying called YOLO, which is you only live once, which I say here. I have my retainer in, so I'm gonna sound like I have a list probably, but it is what it is. I'm only gonna be making fun of myself to be honest, but yeah, the topic is YOLO. Basically, that's basically it, and I've had to kind of put the YOLO mindset into my mindset, as I've matured over this past year, and I've put that YOLO mindset into many things, especially into my senior year as well, because I only live once and I have to do all these college experiences. So I'm saying yes. I'm going out. I'm doing things that I wasn't doing before, and I know I won't get this time back because I'm only getting older. And I was 18 4 years ago, but that seems like a lifetime ago because I hardly remember my freshman year, and I really don't remember my sophomore year. And I remember my junior year pretty well, but my sophomore year I do not remember that at all. So that 19, 20 age frame was just gone, and I'm kind of getting that back as I've gotten past to the 22 now, and I've gotten a little bit better. But to get back to the topic of YOLO, you only live once, and that's a cliche saying, and at the same time, it's as real as the saying can be because you only have one chance at this life, and for all we don't know what's happening after. Whatever you believe in, you might believe in any kind of God. You might not believe in a God. You might believe you return as a spirit. You return as a new person. You never know. And we haven't had any evidence to say that anybody's come back yet in their own form through their own head or their own consciousness. I guess their brain, because your body's just only the concealer of who you are. So we don't have any evidence of somebody coming back in a new body, reincarnated, yet, to my knowledge. And that means that you only have one chance of this life. So the times where you feel embarrassed over something, the times where you feel nervous over doing something, you can say no to doing that because you still, you don't want to just mess up your life all the way, but don't always put yourself in a trap where you are always saying no. You never end up doing what you want to do. And then you end up, when you're 70 years old, walking down the street down London, talking to a Gen Z interviewer, telling them how you wish you had done more when you were in your 20s and maybe traveled more or studied harder or took this or that more serious, because you only get that one opportunity and time frame to do it before it goes away forever. And after it's gone, it's gone after that, and especially with your age. So every second. So I've already lost who I am from the start of the video to who I am now, because that time's now gone forever, and every word that I say is a new time gone forever, and I can't get that back. So I'm trying to say the best words to put out to everybody and to my iPod Nano to live that YOLO mindset in just a small way. And some of the steps that you can take to build and kind of take that YOLO aspect into your life is, this is a topic of another video, but it's, you should not GAF. So you should not give a, the F word. You should not give a about nothing. You can be embarrassed, you can be this and that, but you can't let that consume you. You can't let that determine who you are, because when you start giving a F, then you are going to be consumed by stuff. And I can say I fell victim to being consumed by many things in my life. I've been consumed by my phone. I've been consumed by people, consumed by my emotions. But when you kind of bring that don't GAF emotion into your life and mindset into your life, you really will really open up, and that will help generate better YOLO experiences. And you know, depending on how old you are, you might be able to go travel. If you have a car, you should not hold yourself back to being alone. If you're on a weekend alone and you're just in an apartment and you're sad like I do, every once in a while I'm not sad, but I'm like, dang, I'm bored. Instead, I could have been gone out driving to the mountains alone. I could be going to any kind of event that's just happening, because there's a lot of events happening around and things that I like, but as I hold right now, I don't do that as often as I could. And when I do end up doing those things, it's always a very fun experience, and I always come back smiling and happy and feel like I did something for myself on the weekend or any time where I'm just alone for a long period of time, where instead of looking at my phone for a long time, or going over there on my PC over there for a long time, when I go out, I feel a little bit more productive, and I'm gaining experiences that I haven't had before, or experiences that I know I like, and it just really expands who you are as a person and gives you more depth. And when you have more depth, you'll be able to make more connections, because you'll be able to talk about more things, and you'll be a little bit more well versed on many things. And if you're going out and you're meeting people when you're doing these things like that, you're also going to build your vocabulary, like I've talked about in other videos. And when you're building your vocabulary, you'll be able to get better at small talk, deep conversations, and just talking with people in general, in any kind of setting, professional or not. You're just going to be better at talking, because when you go out to these different places, you have to talk to new people, and it's really just helpful in many ways past just going out and not being on your phone and being bored all the time. And this YOLO experience and saying could also apply to many other things. So you only live with your parents once, so they're getting older than you. They're already older than you, but they're getting older every day. So you only live once, and you only see your parents in this one lifetime. So make sure you love your parents as much as possible. Make sure you tell them you love them, even if you and get embarrassed by your parents. Still say that you love your parents, so both of them, and then make sure make sure they know that you love them, and also any of your siblings as well. Any type of love is good love, and you have to live that YOLO experience. And then also with other relationships as well, you have to not let things just weigh you down, which you guys have seen on my page. It was weighing me down before, but I'm really lifting myself back up to kind of who I was before, to where it's not weighing me down and just making me sad, because I just realized that I can't just be sad about one person for the rest of my life, because that's just going to hold my life up, and I only live this life one time. So, and there's 8 billion people in the world, so even though there's one person I might have really liked, and I still could say that I like them right now, but I can't hold myself back hoping that they're going to come like me back out of nowhere just because I'm feeling sad about them. So I have to keep moving on. I can have feelings in the back of my head, you can have feelings in the back of your head about anybody, but you have to move on. You have to live it once and not let things hold you up in life anymore. So that's why I kind of want to take the YOLO mindset into 2026, and I hope that other people try to take this YOLO mindset into 2026 as well. But YOLO also doesn't mean just do whatever you want at the same time. You don't just do whatever you want when you're YOLOing, because that's just might lead to the YOLO being a short YOLO and you're done. So you want to be smart with your YOLO, not do anything crazy, but you have to also get out of your comfort zone as well. And that's also another topic. I've already brought up 2 random new topics that I've put in my notes, but you have to be um said you have to be good with being uncomfortable and embrace uncomfortability in all situations, because you're going to be uncomfortable in life, and you have to figure out how to embrace it and also get through that comfortability. And the last thing I have to say is, this is something really good for just all in general in life, honestly, is what my teacher said, and I'm really going to take this into my life as I go into the work world. But when you make a mistake, since you only live once, you want to own up to that mistake as fast as possible, instead of letting it build up on top of you and putting you into a deep hole, because we live once, so you don't want to be in a deep hole forever. And that's just one way to not give yourself into a deep hole, is just own up to things when you make mistakes early, and just come back a better person, and the people around you see how you own up to it really early. It shows that you are willing to make a change, and that you are not willing to lie and extend things to expand out to just situations that should never happen if you just were to speak up early. So speak up early when you make mistakes, and don't hold people back with who you are, and don't hold yourself back with who you are, because your mind really can hold you back. Because for me, there's like a few voices in my head. There's a good voice in my head, and then there's a bad voice in my head that's always trying to bring some of the negative thoughts into me, and I have to just try to block out that third voice in my head, and it holds me back sometimes. It'll hold me back, especially y'all saw in those videos where I always talk about, the one person. You can see that's when my third mind is talking, because it's holding me back, and I've been trying to get better, and I've gotten better, and I think by this time in March, I'm going to be much, much, much better. So I just want you guys to live life as a YOLO, and future me, I hope you are YOLO'd your life as well. And even though it's like a social media saying and all that from, the 2010s, and it's still a real saying, y'all want you to take that literal, because you take that literal, you will upgrade your life, and you'll become a plus person, and you'll become an asset to life instead of a liability to life. And I mean your life and other people's life as well. And that's also, funny enough, another topic. You want to become an asset to people's lives instead of a liability, so you can be well connected and bring yourself to higher and better places. So that's all I have for you guys today on YOLO with life. And hopefully you guys take it one step at a time. I'm not the best motivational speaker, and I'm writing with no script. I'm just writing off, or not writing, I'm speaking off literally what I wrote on my phone, and that's the opening sentence that I tell you guys, and I just freestyle it, trying to better my vocabulary, or more my speaking, or my vocabulary. I have to read to better my vocabulary. But I just want you guys to try to take what I said and, do something with it. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys today. No more dragging on like I used to. So have a good day, and I'm going to have a good night, because it is currently 12:39 at night on a Thursday on, I think, February the 6th, 5th. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and thank you.